Hey up and welcome to another Confident Club Cuppa.
Hello everybody, hiya Steve.
Now then, Curls.
Yeah.
What's today's chat about?
Well, the heading is "Don't Go to the Movies," and here's a little sentence to start with, something for people to think about. Here is a bizarre and little-known fact: your brain and your body can't tell the difference between something you vividly imagine and reality. Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, when I wrote that, I thought it was a little known fact, and I think it still is for a lot of people, but not in the world of elite athletes and sports people. So some people might call this visualization, creating pictures, but in just pictures, it's creating a vivid representation in your mind's eye, ear, mouth,
Feeling,
nose,
smell, taste, touch.
If you're doing that as an equation in your book, it's I, that's your imagination, multiplied by V, that's how vivid you make something, equals reality. And the key bit is that multiplication, the more you do it. So somebody once said, didn't they, most naughtiest thing they did was to walk through a cornfield. Do you remember that? Remember those days?
That was Teresa, wasn't it?
When you visualise success in your head, so say it's, in my case, running a marathon, you know.
You would get that in.
One of the key parts of that was, obviously did all the training, actually physically running, but I also did lots of stuff in my head where I was visualising, say, my best training run. So if I got in the actual marathon itself and I was struggling, I'd create that picture and say, just remember that training run picture, or imagining going over the finishing line time and time again. So it's like you walk through that cornfield once, visualise crossing the finishing line of a marathon, and you create like a faint path. And then you walk through it again and it gets more and more vivid. And what you're doing, the actual science behind this, there's been loads of science on this, is when you visualise, and remember it's not just pictures, I'm using the word visualise, but it might be sounds, it might be taste, it might be everything. Vivid, create a vivid representation. You're literally coating the neural pathways in your brain. So you're creating like a fake memory. So people know me, I was banging on about Muhammad Ali, right?
Yeah,
and he called that future history, which is a brilliant phrase for what we're talking about here. Now, there's so much we could cover in this. We cover loads on this on the workshop because it's a key part of confidence. It's a key part of giving a great presentation and controlling your state, visualization. All elite sports people use it, but a lot of people in business and in life don't use it.
No.
Or if they do use it, they use it for something else, don't they, Curly? Because what is I times V equals R also a formula for?
It's a formula for worry and even fear.
Yeah. So I think during the chicken of doom times, or what you might call COVID, right? I think a lot of us got really worried and concerned about stuff that never happened, but we vividly imagined in our head. And if you think about it, so when we send out the joining instructions for the Presentation Mastery Workshop, which we've got 2 coming up this year, right? Yeah. We know, don't we? And that's why we have to reassure you. A lot of people go, before they turn, I've been worrying about this for weeks because I know I need to do it. I've got a big reason why. So I'm still here. I've shown up. We go, well done. You've done the hardest bit. You turned up. But for weeks I've been worrying about it. What they've been doing, they've been visualising. Yeah. They've been creating all these pictures about how terrible they're going to be and how they're going to forget what they're going to say and how, this won't work and that when people hate them and whatever.
How everybody's going to be better than them.
And the thing about when you create these vivid representations in your mind's eye and ear and nose or whatever, it's perfect. That's the great thing, right? Just you feel great, it's brilliant. And it's the cumulative effect. Of course, you have to physically prepare and rehearse a presentation. That's part of it. But it's also the visual rehearsal and it's the cumulative things. So we talked about Ali, right? Yeah. And Ali he also said this: the fight is won behind the lines, the fight is won far away from weaknesses, the fight is won out there on the road and in the gym long before I dance under those lights. So he meant he trained for it physically, but then he also did the future history bit where he would say, take himself off somewhere quiet and run the fight in his head over and over and over and over again. So it became his reality, which is why it could predict the outcome in advance. Sort of 19 fights in which he predicted the outcome. Like you go, Archie Moore, you're going in round 4. 17 happened like he said they would, Curly.
So what we say then is, if it's good enough for Muhammad Ali, one of your heroes, if it's good enough for all these elite sports people, it's good enough for you.
Well, final thing, I was speaking backstage to, Prince Charles said I shouldn't name drop, right? But I was speaking backstage to Steve Redgrave, who's won 5 Olympic gold medals. And
consecutive games.
Yeah, and I said, I'm always banging on about this I times V equals I, explained the formula to him, visual. And he went, you mean visualisation? He went, yeah. So what would you say to him? He said, well, I'd say to him, Steve, I spent as much, if not more time training in my head than I ever did sat in a boat.
Good advice from both Steves.
Indeed. I'll see there.
Bye.